And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
So my mother used to always say, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Did you hear that one before? Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Well, there I was in this situation recently, my friends. Phil Zeller, Effective Communication. I'm there. I'm minding my own business, and out of nowhere, one of my neighbors just goes ballistic. Just goes absolutely ballistic. They just, it's one of those situations where it's the old Sybil situation and a different personality comes out and you just don't know where it came from. Have you ran that situation before where somebody just went off on you? They just went off on you and everybody just started spewing stuff? So I was in this situation recently. One of the neighbors was definitely having a moment there with the situation and decided to just do an email blast to everybody and anybody just about a situation that they didn't understand and it didn't make sense to them. And whoever did this must be an awful human being. And as I watched this unfold, I thought to myself, how many times does this happen where we don't realize that the way we communicate affects other people. And you think that it's okay sometimes just to fly off the handle on other people and that's okay. And people are going to say, well, you know what? That's okay. I do that too. And it's okay. I like to hurt other people. Nobody says that. Are you kidding me? Try to dig your way out of that excuse. Good luck with that one, my friends. That's not going to work. You know, we got to be honest. We know this. Basically, what happens is a person's struggling in their life and they're struggling with what they're going through. And so they just take it out on other people. And it's not a question of, really in the situation, understanding why and why they justify it or why they don't justify it. Whatever they choose to do, they're choosing to do it. But the question is, why are they doing it? Because at the end of the day, as Dale Carnegie would say, they're not winning friends and influencing people. But that's going to happen. There's going to be times where people just are having a bad day and life's not going right, or maybe that turns into weeks, to months, to years. I mean, we all watched Scrooge in the Christmas Carol, right? I've shared that with you before. Had a bad episode when he was a young man and carried it for the rest of his life until he met the three ghosts, the ghost of the past, present, and the future, that set him straight with realizing it's not okay to lash out at other people. It's just not, because you don't have the facts. You don't have the information. We've talked about that before on the show. You never talk unless you got the facts. If you don't have the facts, why are you talking? So get the facts. The facts come from your experience and what you've studied and what you've learned and what you've gone through and what you know to be true based upon what's laid out, and you've looked at all the angles. So the reason I'm sharing this with you today is because we've all had those people that have gone crazy on us like that for a moment, and they try to justify it in their own mind, but there is no justification for it. It's just they chose not to take the time to be concerned with other people's feelings and how they see things. And unfortunately, we're going to run into that with people because a lot of people are in their own mind, they're in their own world, and they're dealing with their own issues. And because they can't deal with them, they take it out on other people, thinking other people can't deal with their issues. And that's not fair either. And yet it does happen, right? So one of the things that you and I can do is we can be more consistent in our communication with people, more consistent, a little bit more predictable, keep our emotions in check, and use our emotions in a productive and positive way. I always share with people, one of the really great things about communicating with people is that you should come through in your communication. You should come through. It should be genuine. It should be honest. It should be sincere. It should feel your emotions that you should be with someone. But that being said, it should never be attacking of other people, because that then puts people on the defensive with you and gets them not to trust you. So as you go through this in life, you got to think about, am I being consistent in the way that I communicate? Am I predictable? Am I predictable? And those of you who listen to the show and have listened to it for several years now realize there is a sense of predictability. Phil's going to tell some story about what life has taught people to do better so they can improve their life. Absolutely, every single time. Going to do that, because life is all the stories of your experiences as you put them together, who you are. And when you share those stories and share those experiences, no matter whether you're going through a difficult situation or you're just having a general conversation with somebody, be consistent, be a little predictable, and realizing that, they can work with you, because nothing's more shocking than when somebody has a moment where they just go off on you or somebody else for no apparent reason other than they're having a moment, right? And any way they justify that moment, well, maybe it's time to see a medical professional. That's up to them. But if you're dealing with it, we're talking about you, not them. Let's deal with ourselves and let us be consistent in the way that we communicate. Let us be a little predictable, you're right, a little predictable, so that people can generally be our friend and be comfortable with us. And I guarantee you, my friends, if you're a little more consistent, a little more predictable, and you don't fly off the handle, life is going to be so much more blessed and easier for you to relate to other people. Now go make it happen.